YouTube? I'm Kirsty. This is my first ever YouTube video. Yay! But in case you had to work tomorrow, you're boycotting, who knows. If you did not watch WWE Stomping Ground, I got you. So I could not catch the pre-show because I worked until 7 tonight, and then I tried to go back and it was like a whole thing. I'm like awful with technology. Anyway, couldn't figure it out. But if you have been sleeping on 205 Live, like I was for a really long time, you should stop. If you watched Mania this year, then you know how Tony Nese defeated Buddy Murphy. He's another Cruiserweight champion. Now, a couple weeks ago on 205, sorry, I got my finger all in your face. That's rude. A couple weeks ago on 205 Live, there was a fatal four-way to see who was going to challenge Tony Nese tonight. And it was amazing. It had Akira Tozawa, it had Drew Gulak, Mike Kanellis, whose wife, Maria Kanellis, is my spirit animal because she talked to me once on Twitter and it was awesome. You got Fig Newtons? You don't want the Fig Newtons? Okay. Oh, okay. Can I have it back? Thank you. Thank you, Sega. She doesn't sleep. Anyway, it was those three and Umberto. So the winner of this was going to determine who would fight for the championship. Well, Tozawa and Drew Gulak, they pinned each other. It was incredible. I screamed. My stepson was here. He didn't even watch this. He screamed. Everybody was screaming. So it was a three-way of who was going to get who was going to fight for the championship. And Drew Gulak, actually, over Akira Tozawa and Tony Nese. He got it. Props to him. Anyway, so I couldn't watch that. Much apologies. Talk to my boss for me. Alright, so the first match of the night is for the Raw Women's title. It's Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. So, at first, Becky Lynch is just absolutely crushing it. Lacey drags Becky by her hair across the ring. And she does this thing with the turnstile where she has, like, Becky by her hair on one side and then her, like, feet on the other side. And it's like, that was my foot. Anyway, it was rude. It was rude. But, okay. Then Lacey Evans does a big arm tackle to Becky. And Becky does this amazing thing where she just, like, back bends out. Like, she doesn't even touch the ground. I wish I could do it. I can't do it. So then Becky does it, disarm her. Lacey kicks out. Or no, she hits the rope with her foot. Not only that, she pulls the tissue from her shorts, like, wipes her underarms, and throws it on Becky. So Becky gets up and forces it down Lacey's mouth. It was kind of crazy. So then she gets Lacey in the corner. They both go on the ropes for a while. They're both jumping from the ropes. And the other one's rolling away. So they're both like getting hurt just jumping onto a mat. That's pretty much what I would do. I would just jump onto a mat. Then Lacey starts going the rope. Becky pulls it down by her feet. Disarm her. 1, 2, 3. Becky retains. Becky is still the Raw Women's Champion. Anyway. Then there was No, we don't do first names in WWE anymore. Ali did this promo. It was actually kind of cool where he was like the superhero. And like there was a teenage girl like drinking by herself and he just kind of and then like people were bullying. I don't know. It was awesome. 10 out of 10 would watch an Ali superhero movie. Love him. Then there was a backstage interview. I believe her name is Charlie. And first she interviewed Paul Heyman. He's like, Brock Lesnar may be here tonight because Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston are both here. Brock Lesnar. Then Baron Corbin comes out and she's like, have you found the guest referee? And he's like, oh yes, of course. An unbiased person you'll see later. Anyway. So then we have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Big E and Xavier Woods. So in the ring starts off KO and Woods. Kevin right away, just super kicks Big E, who's on the ropes. Sammy and Kevin Owens are just tagging each other and just killing Xavier. X is just on the floor taking splashes, cannonballs, everything. But he keeps kicking out because it's Xavier Woods. Alright, then Big E gets back on the apron. And X keeps kicking out of everything. Finally tags in Big E. And then they did this awesome thing where like Big E is like sitting on Xavier Woods, and then he just sort of splashes onto Sami Zayn. It was kind of dope. Good job, Xavier. It's probably not easy. Okay, so then Big E's in, Sami Zayn's in. He's throwing Sami all over the place. He's hitting KO on the ropes because, I mean, KO kicked him on the ropes. It's only fair. Sammy tries to get Big E from the top rope. There's a reversal. There's a tag. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening, ladies and gentlemen. So what ends up happening is all four people are in the ring. Like, Sammy does a haluva kick to Big E. And then, like, Kevin Owens comes in. There's a kick to the face. Everybody's down at this point. All four men are down in the ring. And then Sami Zayn somehow crawls to the outside of the ring. Big E spears them. They're both down. Leaves Kevin Owens open. Stunner. 3 count. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn win. Which I don't love the feud between the New Day and Kevin Owens. Because I love Kevin Owens and I love the New Day. What's a girl to do? What's a girl to do? Okay. There have been so many Twitter polls coming up about, like, what's the match you're most looking forward to in Stomping Grounds. This was mine, and it was never an option. The United States Championship. It was Samoa Joe versus Ricochet. So, sorry, I'm so bad at this. So, I actually don't have a lot written down for this because I was, like, so into it. But Samoa Joe was dominating till he tried to punch Ricochet. Ricochet dodged it, kicked him in the face. Then Ricochet's gaining momentum, does a lot of rope work. Then Samoa Joe gets him in a coquina clutch. So everybody's like, oh, it's over, it's over. No, Ricochet, like, walks up the ropes, jumps on the other side. I don't know how he does it. Who knows how he does it? Guys should be Spider-Man. We should call him Spider-Man. Anyway, eventually Ricochet gets to the top rope, 630 slash. He's the winner. Okay, and they said this is his first ever WWE championship. I'm not saying they're wrong, but did he not win anything in NXT? I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm really bad at, like, remembering championships, so I'm probably wrong, but could have sworn he won something. Anyway, then we go to the SmackDown Live tag teams. It's Heavy Machinery versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan. This is Daniel Bryan's hometown show. I mean, they're in Tacoma, Washington. So, well, the first thing that comes out that's really cool is, like, Otis holds Daniel Bryan, you know, straight up, tags in Tucker, just hands him off like he's nothing. But, okay, the crowd, first of all, they're doing the yes chants. I miss the yes chants. Actually, we recently moved, and I left my yes necklace at the old house because I was so mad he turned heel. Because that's just who I am. I know, you probably can't see behind me, but it's all like Bella, Cena, Daniel Bryan, all up here. Then I get to my other favorites. I got more over there, What are you gonna do? It's probably really hard living with me. All I do is, like, buy wrestling action figures. Anyway, so we have Yes Chance, we have Daniel Bryan, and then we have We Recycle and Drive a Prius. Crowd was killing it tonight. They had me rolling. Okay, so some highlights. Daniel Bryan's flying kicks, and then he started doing yes kicks to Otis, and Otis started dancing. Of course, Otis's caterpillar is a highlight. I can't do a caterpillar. I can't even do the worm. I do something that's like a beached seal. Like, people just throw water on me and pray for me. It's weird. But, okay, so then there is a non-seen tag by Daniel Bryan after Otis had picked up Rowan. So then Otis tags Tucker. Tucker is getting ready to run the ropes. Daniel Bryan, who's the legal man, pulls the ropes down. Tucker flies out. So then Daniel Bryan runs to his rope, tries to dive on him. Tucker punches him in the face. Ouch. Then Tucker climbs the ropes, dives onto Rowan, who's on the floor at this point. And then he tries to climb back in the ring, but Daniel Bryan rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Bryan and Rowan retain. So then we got the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's Alexa Bliss versus Bayley featuring Nikki Cross. So, full disclosure, I let the dogs out at this point, so I kind of missed the beginning because I was trying to call them back in because they fiddle fart around out there. What are you going to do? So, when I came in, Alexa was like dominating. She had Bayley laying down. She was holding onto the ropes and like jumping on her neck and her back. And then Bayley like went to the corner to turnbuckle, and Alexa runs at her, stops, just slaps the snot out of her. Then Bayley starts giving her a few knee strikes, and Bayley starts doing some really cool stuff, but Alexa has her arm, so Alexa's countering, like doing back bends, walkovers, like Gymnast City. It's incredible. Counters everything that Bayley gives her, except when Bayley gives her the back suplex. So then Bayley, after that, gives her the sunset flip. Alexa rolls out of the ring. So Bayley, of course, is going to dive at her. Well, Alexa kind of puts Nikki Cross in the crossfire. Haha. And Alexa hits her. So then Bliss is getting on the ropes. Bayley comes back in the ring. Nikki's trying to go after Bayley, so the ref's holding her back. So Bliss tries to do a twisted Bliss, but Bayley gets out of the way. She misses. Then Bayley to belly. Bayley retains. Then there was a recap. I don't know if y'all are on, I call it wrestling Twitter. I don't know. Just follow a bunch of wrestling people on Twitter. But, okay, so for the 24/7 championship, I think we saw on SmackDown Live that R-Truth thought Drake Maverick in a disguise was Carmella, and it's Drake Maverick, so he has the title, right? Drake Maverick, legit, IRL, got married this weekend. And there's video of when they are kiss the bride, da-da-da, he's walking down the aisle with his bride. R-Truth tackles him in the aisle with the ref, gets the belt back. R-Truth is a national treasure, and Drake Maverick's new wife tweeted that she already wants to divorce him. Then there was a promo of Ricochet holding up his title. Anderson and Gallows are with him. Then all of a sudden someone says, "Hey, can I be in the picture?" AJ Styles, where have you been all my life? So he takes a couple pictures and then he says, "See you tomorrow." AJ Styles is back. He was out. Was it a shoulder injury? I don't remember. Then we have Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre with Shane McMahon. So when Roman Reigns is walking down the ramp, Drew McIntyre tries to attack him. Doesn't really work. So Roman gets him back in the ring. He takes out Drew. Then he dives for Shane. He dives for Shane a few times, like on the ground around the ring. Shane's running into the crowd. Roman's following him. Shane hops back across the barrier, like to the area where the ring is. And as Roman starts to dive over, Drew McIntyre punches him in the face. Roman and Drew go back into the ring. There's "This is awful" chants from the crowd, which you never want to see. Shane keeps verbally interfering with the ref, yelling at him and whatnot. McIntyre keeps pinning Reigns. Reigns keeps kicking out. That looked like a weird dab, didn't it? There's a few submissions. Roman doesn't tap out. Then Roman starts gaining momentum. He teases the Superman punch. The crowd, huge pop for that. Superman punches Seth McMahon. Shane McMahon, sorry. Goes around the ring, tries to punch him again. Drew gets him. like, picks him up and, like, slams his face into the announce table. I don't even know what it's called. It looked like a weird, like, slingshot thing. So then the in-ring actually gets better. Crowd's more into it. There's Claymore, reversal, Superman punch, reversal. Roman Reigns spears him. There's the 1, 2. Shane McMahon pulls the ref out of the ring. Then he beats up Roman a little bit, puts Roman into the corner. Nobody puts Roman into a corner. And then does coast to coast. Phew! Okay, say what you want about Shane McMahon, but when I'm that old, that is not too far away. I hope I can do stuff like that. That's dope. That's dope. So then Roman's down. Shane pulls Drew up, puts him on top of Reigns, gets a ref there. 1, 2, Reigns, weird dab, kick out. Then Roman hits Drew. Shane's on the ropes. He spears him away. Roman covers. Roman wins. That wasn't for a title. That was just something that happened. So we have the steel cage match. So Dolph Ziggler, it should have been me, versus Kofi for the WWE Championship. So Kofi starts off doing really well. Then Dolph moves. He hits the turnbuckle. And Dolph starts doing really well. Kofi starts slamming Ziggler into the cage over and over again. Kofi's trying to climb up the cage. Then Ziggler's slamming his face into a cage. It's a whole lot of face cage slamming is what's going on. Kofi was trying to climb up the cage, but shoes. You can't climb in big shoes. So, Dolph gets him out. There's a kick out. Kofi keeps going back up and coming back down hard. So then Dolph is actually sitting on top of the cage. Kofi, all of a sudden his shoes work. He's sitting on top of the cage trying to prevent Dolph from going over because, you know, the rule, 2 feet on the floor ends the cage match. So, just bear with me because this ending is awesome. So they both keep falling. Kofi does an SOS. Dolph kicks out. Dolph does a super kick. And then as Kofi is falling, he's falling towards the door. The door opens. So Kofi's head is out of the door, but the rule is feet. It's like Royal Rumble. So Dolph's trying to pull him back in. Then they fight a little more. Then Dolph goes head first out. Kofi pulls him back in. Dolph shoves his thumbs into Kofi's eyes. So Kofi's down like this, and Dolph is like crawling. He's gonna get out. Half of his body is out. Kofi Kingston, this man, gets up, jumps over the rope, and lands on the floor before Dolph Ziggler, retaining his title. That was a really dope finish. Then we had a backstage promo where Shane McMahon announced that him and Drew McIntyre tomorrow night on Raw will be going 2-on-1 in a handicap match against Roman Reigns. And the crowd went, more? Really? So this is the moment you guys have been waiting for. It is Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for the Universal Championship. And there's a special referee. I feel like I should get a drum roll. Should I not get a drum roll? I don't know. Anyway, Seth comes out and he's like, whoever you got to be the referee, they're getting hit with this chair. Lacey Evans. Now, I'm sure everybody knows by now that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are a couple. And Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans are obviously rivals. So this is his girlfriend's rival. So, of course, she's going to be Team Baron Corbin. Who is not a bad wrestler. Like, if... I'll get into that later. I feel like I should get, like, what's his name? Chris Crocker to be like, leave Baron alone. He seems cool. I don't know. Okay, so Lacey Evans takes Seth Rollins' chair and then turns around so Baron Corbin can take it from her, beat Seth with it a little bit. Crowd starts chanting Becky. Throughout the thing, they start chanting CM Punk. They start chanting Goldberg. They're chanting, like, pretty much everybody's name. Except mine. It's coming soon. No, I'm kidding. Okay, there's a lot of punches exchange. Seth does a blockbuster. But of course, every time he pins Baron, Lacey is counting super duper slow. There's more punches on the apron. Rollins throws Corbin through the announce table, and that was pretty. And before that, Corbin had given Rollins a DDT. That was really pretty. This was a pretty fight. All the moves were really pretty. So, of course, so Rollins threw Corbin through a table. Lacey's counting count out for the DQ. But she stops counting at 8, even though she's counting super slow. And she's like, this is a no DQ match, all of a sudden. Alright, bet, no DQ. So, Seth drags him into the ring, and there's some action on the apron. Seth does some splashes. Lacey counts 1, 2, oh, my shoulder. So it's obvious, Seth's gonna have to come up with just something out of his buttocks to be able to win this match. So Seth does the Falcon on the chair, sorry. He does a Falcon arrow on the chair. Lacey doesn't count. She keeps slapping Seth. Then Baron Corbin comes around, slaps him again. Lacey low blows Seth Rollins, so he's down. Corbin does the end of days, but just before Lacey Evans gets to 3, who should come out? Becky Lynch. So she beats the absolute snot out of Lacey Evans. The refs come break it up. Corbin brings him into the ring. He's like, look, he's out. Just count my cover. So he covers him. 1, 2. Seth Rollins kicks out. Curb stomp. Match is over. 1, 2, 3 after that. And Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch limp into the sunset together, which is pretty much how anyone wants their relationship to go. So anyway, this was my first YouTube video. Sorry, it was probably kind of slow moving. But I'm planning on doing it a lot more. Hopefully I'll be with you tomorrow night on Raw. Tuesday, I'll do SmackDown late because it's Big Brother season, y'all. I'm planning on doing everything wrestling, reality shows. If you are looking for a new podcast, may I please suggest I get to co-host with the amazing Oz Banks on Beyond Serious, the podcast. We do it once a week. He's amazing. It's definitely not safe for work, so children. You can follow me on Twitter at always_KIRSTIE. I live tweet stuff and sometimes I'm funny. And you should probably give me a little bit before you subscribe so you don't find me annoying. You might now. I don't know. Who knows? This is just my first one. What are you gonna do? But as Joel McHale would say, I watch it so you don't have to. Bye!